Headline news most affecting Chilliwack this week. The snowpack is not that deep, but that could trigger a drought. Premier David Eby shelling out millions for riverbank protection in the Chilliwack area. A local advocate who cleans up some of those riverbanks has had enough. Somebody else can do it. Chilliwack Giants are back from Vegas. They have a few stories to tell. Josh will have more in sports. Our special guest this week includes Sue Knott of the Chilliwack Hospice Society with a brand new segment that we call Charity Spotlight. As well, Pam Pederson, here to discuss the coldest night of the year fundraiser for Chilliwack. The Chilliwack Giants, the team, some of the coaches, they'll be talking about that flag football and Vegas, the stories we can tell. And we'll also feature a clip of Premier David Eby, his announcement last week in Chilliwack. All right, Chilliwack, let's get started. Students Voice Chilliwack have once again taken to YouTube and social media to push back against misconceptions on everything from pride to gender equality in schools to what is being called a glow-up dance. In fact, it's happening literally as we are speaking here. Part of the dance is a drag bingo. That has a few parents up in arms. Well, Reshelt, the Chilliwack School Board Chair, made a statement to chillTV, quote, "The school district is inclusive. This doesn't mean that every event or activity held on school property will appeal to all students, but it does mean we offer enough options that all students should be able to find something that they want to participate in. The drag performances at Glow Up will be age appropriate for a teen audience. The Queens have experience performing at family-friendly events, including Chilliwack Pride and Drag Queen Bingo. You can see that video on the Students Video channel, and that is up on YouTube. The BC River Forecast Center released their February report card and stated that the South Coast and the Lower Fraser snowpacks are both lower than normal. That has raised concerns for a potential drought. Last summer, the Fraser Valley experienced drought conditions starting in August, ran to October. The February summary noted that the Fraser River Snow Basin Index is only 75% of normal. Now, there remains the potential of more snow coming in the next couple of weeks, but the drier forecast seems to be what we're seeing, not so much with the snow. So with 2 or more months left of possible snow accumulation, seasonal snowpacks can still change. Now, on top of this, the other factor is that La Nina is turning into a full-blown El Nino. That could further enhance a warm, dry spring and summer. Premier David Eby, along with the minister responsible for emergency management and climate readiness, Bowen Ma, were in Chilliwack last week, announcing that the province will invest $5 million in riprap erosion control measures for shoreline stabilization. That will ensure protection for people, businesses, and infrastructure. The work also allows the new $45 million dike project to move forward in its entirety. That was announced back in 2019. While this will help Squaw and Shwe First Nations of the city of Chilliwack, Premier Eby really couldn't say if any other help will come to Abbotsford or the Mission Gauge area, as well as Hope. Engineering designs for the Chilliwack shoreline stabilization will begin immediately. Construction is expected to begin in 2024. chillTV was at the announcement. We'll have a clip of that coming up a little later in the show. Enough is enough when it comes to longtime volunteer and cleanup efforts along riverbanks. Ross Aikenhead has been spearheading Chilliwack River Valley and homeless camp cleanups for the last 15 years. But for the past 6 years, basically, he's been footing the bill on his own. That's a lot of time and effort and money. Aikenhead is not a spring chicken, as he says it. Plus, he has his own health issues to deal with. In a conversation with chillTV last summer, he noted that during the heat and the drought, he had to watch himself as to not be exhausted. So in an open letter to the Ministry of Forest, Lands, and Natural Resource Operations, as well as a copy to the FVRD, he made it clear he cannot afford his time and money for cleanups anymore. It usually costs about $600 a year in dumping costs out of his own pocket. He feels it's time for the government to simply step up to the plate. A 52-year-old Chilliwack man has been charged in connection with an October early morning smash and grab at Mary's on Wellington. The intimate apparel store has been the frequent target of thieves until the recent owner, Mary Urquhart, installed new security roller doors on the storefront. Now, this past week, formal charges were laid. He is expected to be in court in March. His name is Kevin Alexander Point. He's been charged with 1 count of break and enter as well as other offenses. The Chilliwack edition of Coldest Night of the Year is coming up February the 25th, which is a bit of a difference here. It usually was midweek. It's now on a Saturday. Pam Pederson, the team captain for Team Berni Solheim's Walkers, will be part of this. Now, Berni taught at Vetter Middle School for a number of years and sadly passed away from cancer in 2022. We had a conversation with Pam. We'll have that in just a couple of minutes' time.
Good morning, everybody. It's a real pleasure to be here in this beautiful new building on the territory of the Stillwell people, and I want to thank Chief Muscle and Chief Gladstone so much for having us here, and the drummers for starting us off in such a positive way. We're building a British Columbia that is stronger for people today and for the days to come. Today we're announcing a $5 million investment in dike works here along the Fraser River. And this particular investment is for something called riprap, which is essentially a layer of stone that will protect the riverbank from erosion and allow the new dike project to proceed here. This work will help protect Chilliwack Village, Chilliwack First Nation, and the city of Chilliwack from flooding. This builds on an announcement that Minister Ma made just a week ago of $23.4 million to support communities across the province in doing planning work and prevention work around climate change, including for Chilliwack, an investment around planning and design of a new drainage pump station to respond to and prevent flooding. This announcement today of $5 million will protect people. My thanks to the federal government and the city of Chilliwack for their investments in this new dike project. We are glad to join you in partnership on this. And my thanks as well to the people of Chilliwack Village and Chilliwack First Nation for their important contributions to this project as well. This is another example and another step in our continuing work to partner with Indigenous people as true partners and leaders in emergency management and response.
chillTV has learned that there really hasn't been any movement in the bus drivers' dispute, which affects Central Valley Transit. That's Abbotsford and Mission, as well as Chilliwack Transit. Wages are the main issue. Currently, drivers are not collecting fares. If the dispute continues to the end of the month, there could be a 2-day service disruption, although the drivers' union are reluctant to shut down Handy Dart. They say they're not going to do it. But here's the irony. This comes as, for the third year in a row, BC Transit has been recognized as one of BC's top employers for 2023. BC Family Day, the provincial statutory holiday, it's coming up on Monday, the 20th. On paper, BC Family Day is supposed to give families the opportunity to spend time with their loved ones. Family Day started 10 years ago in 2013, and to this day, many people still don't know it's a stat. This weekend is actually a long weekend. Pick apart near the Lickman exit off Highway 1 is long gone, but you can still see that old pink Plymouth Duster sitting on top of the old sign. Southern Irrigation now owns that property, and they have taken to social media hinting that they've got some plans for the iconic car. New info still to come. Now, there have been calls for the car to, say, be moved to the Lickman roundabout. However, it's really not in great shape for that move. A number of upgrades would have to be made, and that would be expensive. For now, the Duster stays put, and we simply wait for the fate of that display. Fraser Canyon Hospital Emergency is in need of a medication dispensing unit, among other things, for the hospital as well as the lodge. Fraser Valley Healthcare Foundation is going to be holding a spring fashion show to raise funds for the hospital. That gala is coming up in Hope, April the 22nd at Legion Hall. Tickets can be found online at the Fraser Valley Healthcare Foundation social media. After the break, Charity Spotlight with Sue Knott, an interview with the Coldest Night of the Year Chilliwack fundraiser. As well, Josh will have more in sports when it comes to some Abbotsford golfers. As well, Jordan Heidema. She's back with Team Canada's women's soccer team. But will they get paid?
This is Sue Knott, and you're here with us for Charity Spotlight. And this week, my guest is Lori Jackson. She's from Sorpotomists, and a lot of people, you hear about Sorpotomists, you hear about the Optimist Club, you hear about all sorts of other clubs in Chilliwack, but I bet you there's not that many people out there that actually know what you do. So tell me, what does Sorpotomist mean?
Well, great question, Sue. Thank you for asking that. The short answer is Sorpotomist means best for women. The slightly longer answer talks about our global impact. So we are in Chilliwack and around the world, we're a global-based member volunteer organization. So what we do is provide access to training and education for women and girls not only in our community, but also globally. So speaking of globally, Sorpotomist International is actually part of 5 federations around the world. So we have 72,000 roughly members, 72,000 members, and we're in approximately 121 countries.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yes.
You're giving the Rotary clubs a run for their money.
Well, absolutely.
And you know, people don't hear about Sorpotomists often, so I'm glad that you brought that. So tell me a little bit more about what you do in Chilliwack.
Yeah, great question. So kind of coming back home to Chilliwack, we have 30 members in Chilliwack. We've actually been around since 1921. We just celebrated, a few years ago, we celebrated our 85th anniversary. So we've been in Chilliwack a long time, and we have a number of different projects that we work on. And one of them I'd really like to speak about is our upcoming event, which is our annual fundraiser, Pajamas and Pearls.
I've heard of Pajamas and Pearls, and I've actually attended Pajamas and Pearls, but I'm not going to say that I knew exactly where the money was going, but it sure is a heck of a good time.
Oh my gosh.
So tell me about Pajamas and Pearls.
Okay, well, I'm happy to actually. So this is our 6th annual event this year. This year it's April 15th, so Saturday night, April 15th at the Chilliwack Curling Club. And like you said, it is just a night of celebration and fun. So we would encourage everyone to come out, check it out. And actually, it's true, wear your pajamas.
Gotta love that.
Pajamas, some people wear pearls if you like them, hence the name, Pajamas and Pearls. I've also seen the occasional feather boa and tiara as well. So it's a night of just fabulous food. You probably know the Chilliwack Curling Club well. So amazing food. It's a great venue. We dance, great music. There's a silent auction, balloon pop, so you can come home with stuff and bid on stuff. A couple other things I found really neat in my first event that I attended last year was we have a character artist as well as a henna tattoo artist. So my 21-year-old daughter and I actually got a picture together. It was amazing. So a fun night of great memories and such a great cause.
And all women.
Yes, all women. Well,
all women dancing and hooting it up and having a great time.
Absolutely.
And making money for a really, really great organization and a great cause. So tell me what you do with the money.
Yes, excellent. So with the annual fundraiser, what we do is the money that we raise at the Pajamas and Pearls event goes to fund what's called our Live Your Dream Award. So remember at the beginning I was talking about what does Sorpotomist do? Well, we provide access to training and education. This is one of the ways that we do it through the fundraiser program. So at the event, all the money that we raise goes to support the Live Your Dream Award, which is an educational award that we offer. So every year around the middle of August, you'll see the award come up. We send it out to everyone in the community. And it's an award for women educational opportunity, I should say, for women that are going back to school, pursuing post-secondary. It can be upgrading, college, university, trades, and they're the primary financial provider for their home, and they have dependents. So they apply for the award, and the successful winners actually get the award at that night. So they actually attend the Pajamas and Pearls event as well. So all the money at Pajamas and Pearls funds the Live Your Dream Education Award.
Oh, that's amazing. So is there any restrictions on the money? Because I know a lot of different grants and things that people get. You know, they can only put it towards their tuition or whatever. And I've heard that the Live Your Dream Award is way more flexible than that. And particularly
100%.
because it's for women who are supporting their families on their own. So tell me about that.
Yes. So 2 things on that. So first one is absolutely, the restrictions are as long as you qualify within the program and you are the successful award winner, then there's not restrictions. You can spend it on whatever you want because you've already spent the money to pay for your education. The second thing I just wanted to add is that in the last 7 years, the Chilliwack Sorpotomist Club has given out 3 to 4 awards every year, about $40,000 overall.
Wow, that's amazing. So anything else you want to tell us about Sorpotomist before we wrap it up? Because we're running out of time.
Okay, the one thing I would like to add is our business meeting is the 3rd Wednesday of every month. It's our new venue is at the Coast Hotel. So it's 6:30 p.m., 3rd Wednesday of every month, as I mentioned. Please come check us out. Just come on.
You can just walk right in.
You can totally walk right in. You can contact me. I'll leave you my contact information. chilliwacksorpotomist.org is our website. If you're interested in Pajamas and Pearls, you can find our Facebook page, or we're on Eventbrite as well. So come check it out. We actually also have a member night, so all new members are welcome to come February 23rd as well. 7 p.m. night at the museum membership event. Whew.
That's a lot. That's a lot. Well, thank you
information.
very much,
Thank
Lori,
you.
for coming and sharing the information on Sorpotomist with us. I think people have learned a lot. We know a lot more about Sorpotomist now. So thank you for coming and good luck with your event.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Over to you, Don.
News of the week continues in conversation with the upcoming coldest night of the year. And in Chilliwack, it is a live event. Pam Pederson is with us, and you're the team captain. And there's some interesting dynamics for what you're going to be doing with Coldest Night. Give us the background on this.
Thank you, Don, for your time today.
Anytime.
I'm here to talk to everyone about the team of Berni Solheim's walkers, and we're participating in the coldest night of the year in Chilliwack on Saturday, February 25th. There's a group of us who have been walking in the coldest night of the year event in Chilliwack for several years. And one of the people in our group was Berni Solheim. And very sadly, Berni became ill late last year and passed away very quickly after her illness, and passed away on December 22nd. And as the coldest night of the year event rolled around for this year, we missed her presence very, very much, and we didn't know what to do. So we decided to dedicate our walk this year to her memory. And so we named our group Berni Solheim's Walkers. And we are doing this out of gratitude for her life, but it is a way of coping with grief.
Yeah.
We were really overwhelmed with her sudden passing, and we miss her smile and her brilliance. She was a teacher at Vetter Middle School for many years, and many people know her and respect her and miss her. So we are dedicating our walk to her. So far we have 23 people on our team, and we are dedicating our walk and all our fundraising for the Ann Davis Transition Society in her memory. It's sort of grown a bit because in grief, there is a feeling of not knowing what to do. Mm-hmm. And so it has become a way of dealing with grief in general. And so we're inviting anybody who knew Berni, a student, a co-staff member, teacher, or anybody who just feels they don't know what to do with their experience of grief to join us on our walk. There are many wonderful teams in Chilliwack and everywhere for coldest night of the year, but everybody is welcome to walk with Team Berni Solheim's Walkers.
Coldest Night helps not only Ann Davis Society, but other organizations that help everybody from those in need to the homeless. And there's a reason it's done in February. It literally is the coldest night, so we can understand what's going on. I guess one thing too, we've done it at Ann Davis at the actual building on Yonge in Chilliwack for so many years. This is going to be a little bit different now. We're at Evergreen?
As far as I know, the gathering begins at 4 p.m. at Evergreen Hall. There might be some warm-up exercises and a bit of a ceremony, and then the walks begin at 5 p.m. and there's a 2K or a 5K option, and they will be, I understand, guided walks, and it will be a remarkable experience for everybody.
And this is February the 25th.
Correct.
Which is a Saturday?
Saturday.
Yeah, because as I recall, it was usually it was a weekday in the past.
It's
so
Saturday this year.
This will be a little bit different. Plus, there's I know with Ann Davis, and it was a little tight for people to, when it was cold, to kind of get inside and stay warm. Evergreen is a little more accommodating. The other thing, too, I guess we should mention, because there's been some confusion. Unfortunately, Coldest Night in Abbotsford, it's still on, but it's no longer a live event. Cyrus Center is holding it virtually, but this one is on the streets.
Right, right. And it is a remarkable feeling to walk together as a group, to support one another in grief and in remembering Berni.
Any other, I would assume Berni's name is up on the website, Coldest Night?
Yes, you just have to Google or search in your browser for Coldest Night of the Year Chilliwack, And on that page that comes up, you will find a list of all the teams that are there. There are some wonderful teams in town, and you'll find our team listed there.
Pam, a big thank you. I'll see you there on that Saturday.
Thank you.
With hot cocoa in hand, and I still have my blue toque. Do we know we're going to be selling toques? Do we know yet?
We'll receive a toque, yes. I don't know what color it will be.
Okay.
I've got a collection.
I've got my toque from last year. I also have my scarf, so I will be there.
Thank you very
again.
much. Thank you.
And you're watching News of the Week.
How's it going, everyone? Josh here with you once again. I'm super excited for Sports Day because we've got an amazing interview and some great stories to get into. So let's not waste any time. Let's just jump into it. Canada Soccer's women's national team have announced their squad for the 2023 She Believes Cup, which will run from February 16th to 22nd with 3 matches in 3 cities across the U.S. All 4 nations that are competing in this year's tournament are preparing for the upcoming FIFA Women's World Cup in Australia and New Zealand later this summer, including Canada, Brazil, Japan, and the hosts, the USA. The squad will include Christine Sinclair and Chilliwack's Jordan Heidema. All games will be televised on onesoccer.ca and TELUS Optic TV. But this otherwise low-key tournament has become about so much more than the matches, as for Team Canada, the entire tournament will be played under protest. This comes as a result of a bitter and now public dispute with Canada Soccer over equal pay and budget cuts. The issues began after the 2023 Canada Soccer budget included severe cuts to both the men's and women's national team programs, as well as their associated youth programs. Last Friday, the women announced that they were taking job action and would no longer participate in any Canada Soccer activities until this dispute was resolved. Now, the strike was short-lived as legal action was swiftly threatened, but the women insist the fight is not over, hence why they are playing this tournament in protest. The Canadian women are asking that they receive the same resources in preparation for the Women's World Cup this summer that the men received for their World Cup prep last fall. This includes equal pay, the same number of players invited to training camp, and the same support in terms of training staff and practice opportunities. They cite their strong track record of success over the past decade, including the recent gold at the Tokyo Olympics, and the enormous rise in popularity of soccer in Canada that has come as a result of the success of both the men's and women's teams. Now, on that note, the men's national team has also come out in support of the women, as they are embroiled in their own legal dispute and funding dispute with Canada Soccer. So what happens now? Well, the women will play these games, as I mentioned, under protest at the She Believes Cup. But Canadian captain Christine Sinclair has indicated that if these issues are not resolved by the next FIFA training window in April, the team will not participate in camp. So we'll just have to keep following and see what comes of that. In much more exciting news, the Chilliwack Giants have returned home for the NFL Flag Football Championships at the Pro Bowl in Las Vegas. A number of the Chilliwack Giants players and coaches are going to join me in studio in just a moment here to talk about their Vegas football experience and maybe a little bit about where the program is going to be heading for the rest of 2023. So let's check that out. We are here today with some representatives from the Chilliwack Giants flag football team that went all the way down to Vegas to play. We got Coach Greg, we got Evan, we got Lincoln in the studio. Obviously, we couldn't fit the whole team here. There's no room. We need bleachers to fit all 12 people. But thank you guys so much for coming out to represent the squad.
Well, thanks for having us, Josh.
No problem. I am really excited to hear about how this tournament went, because this was also the first time the NFL had run a flag football kind of international tournament like this at the Pro Bowl. So how did the weekend go? How did you guys get there, and how did the weekend go?
Last June, we were contacted to enter into the Vancouver Regionals. And we jumped right on it right away. We've been training since early in the spring to get ready for our season, and we managed to jump right in. Traveled into Vancouver, had an amazing tournament in Notre Dame, and managed to take that one down in a real hard-fought final, which made us the regional champions. So
that's what got you guys into this tournament.
That got us into the tournament.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So then, what was this 4 days right in Vegas? What was that like? What kind of give me a play-by-play?
Oh, it was absolutely spectacular. We were in the international division down there representing. There was 3 teams from Canada, 7 teams from China, Japan, UK, Ghana, Germany.
Was Spain have a team too? I feel like something like
Spain did, and Australia was
Australia.
there.
Okay.
And it was teams from all over the world at different levels of learning the game, and just there representing football, and it was amazing.
Yeah. How do you think you guys did over the course of those first couple days when you were playing?
Oh, when we were playing, the kids were absolutely lights out. They played so well. Canada represented very well. These guys had obviously the west side of Canada, and we were 3-0 on the first day.
Beauty.
We took on UK first and did very well against them. Then Japan and then China. We ended up scoring the most points in the international division on day one.
Wow.
So and then we only allowed 1 touchdown. So we were in real good shape.
That's lockdown. That's pretty locked down.
Yeah, they were an amazing group that was ready. They went down and showed them what it was about.
And you said that at the end of the tournament, Canada had, I think, 3 teams in the top 4 or something like that? Like all 3 teams
Yeah, all 3 teams are right there in the top. Definitely Canada represented super well. A team from Montreal, a team from Regina, and then us from the West Coast. And definitely the top 3 teams in the tournament were all Canadian.
Wow. Now, obviously, the tournament is really cool and a big part of it and super fun, but at the end of the day, you're down there kind of for the experience of being at the NFL Pro Bowl. I want to hear from you guys. Evan, Lincoln, what was that experience like to be at the Pro Bowl? What are some kind of like the highlights that you're going to take away from it?
Well, it was really cool, like being on the field at halftime and stuff, and meeting
Like during the Pro Bowl, you were there at the field at halftime?
Yep,
That's
we were on
sick.
the field, meeting all kinds of players. They were really chill. I wasn't expecting them to be as chill as they normally are. Like, they're probably so casual around people and stuff, but they seemed really excited to see us, really like proud that we represent our countries, coming down and playing.
Now, I noticed you got some autographs on the jersey there, so you obviously met some pretty cool people. Who do you got autographs for?
I met Trayvon Diggs, Patrick Surtain, and Dawson Knox.
Nice. And you're like right there, like no barrier, you're just like right there with them.
Right.
What about you, Lincoln?
Well, first day we met Kirk Cousins he was watching our first game and he came over and introduced himself.
So he was watching your flag football game?
Yeah.
That's a really cool gesture from Kirk, first of all. Like, he's probably got a lot of commitments. The fact that he took the time to come out and talk to you guys, that's really, really sick. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt you.
Yeah.
Tell me about the rest of that experience.
He came over, introduced himself, and was talking about how we got there and pulled out my jersey and he signed it. Really nice guy.
Coach, you were saying that you were kind of taken aback by Kirk in that moment.
Oh, he was just so humbled when Lincoln actually said, "I have your jersey in my bag." Kirk Cousins dropped to the same 12-year-old boy that was there beside him. I'll forever be a Kirk Cousins fan because of that moment. He was so humbled, and so he was like, "You have my jersey? You're carrying my jersey with you? Wow. Oh my goodness! Of course I want to sign it." And it was really, really cool to watch someone of that stature just revert back to that, and understand that his fans are who they are, and
totally. And you got to think, like, for him, it's this kind of moment of perspective, like. He obviously still appreciates that he's made it this far, and that he's got such great fans out there. What a cool experience. Now, you guys have an opportunity to be in this event again next season, but not you guys, because you're aging out, right?
Yeah, these guys will be too old next year, but the tournament's going to come back. They're going to hold 6 regionals across Canada this year instead of 3.
Okay.
And then we're hoping as the Chilliwack Giants to train the next crew forward. These guys want to be a big part of that training and teaching them what we learned and keep generating success for the program.
Absolutely, create like a bit of a legacy here of BC Chilliwack dominance in that tournament, right?
Absolutely.
That's going to be amazing. What an amazing experience for you guys. Thank you for taking the time to tell me a little bit about it. Hopefully we can get next year. Different crew of guys in here. Maybe we'll get the whole team in here next time. And thanks again and congratulations.
Thank you, Josh.
All right, back to me with the rest of sports. Thanks again to the Giants for stopping by. Unbelievable experience down there in Vegas. And who knows, maybe a fresh crop of players getting back there next year to represent Chilliwack. So let's stick with local football because the Valley Huskers are also in the news. Former Chilliwack Giant and GW Graham wide receiver and defensive back Tyson Kelly has signed a letter of intent with the Huskers. Well, the club also announced that they've signed running back and wide receiver Abdul Keown from Medicine Hat. Plus, we got to send out congratulations to Valley Huskers alumni Dawson Davis on his invitation to the 2023 CFL National Combine. So good luck to Dawson. Cultus Lake skier Reese Howden is back on the slopes for another FIS ski cross race. He will be in Austria today and tomorrow, the 16th and 17th. His last race was a win in Sweden, and CBC will have those races in their overnight coverage, so check out a local boy in that. UFE Cascades women's basketball are gearing up for their first-round Canada West playoff matchup against the UMBC Timberwolves on Friday in Edmonton. The winner of that game will move on to face the University of Alberta Pandas the following afternoon, while for the men, the Cascades will open their postseason schedule with a contest against the Brandon Bobcats Friday in Winnipeg at 3 p.m., with the winner of that matchup moving on to face the Winnipeg Westmen in the following afternoon. The Chilliwack Coliseum announced that it has been selected to host BC Hockey's 2023 Program of Excellence provincial camps this summer, which take place July 20th to 27th. The camps will feature athletes competing for roster spots on 2 teams who will participate in the annual tournaments, the female U18 and the men U16 Program of Excellence teams. All right, that's all we've got for sports today. Thanks again to the Giants for stopping by. What a great show. That was a full sports program today. We will see you next week. Now we're going to go to Cari with the weather.
chillTV long weekend weather with Cari Moore. Now, Cari, as I mentioned, we have a long weekend. We've had a couple of days of sun. So, of course, 3 days off and we have rain.
Thanks, Don. Yes, it is going to be a pretty yucky weekend for the long weekend coming up. A lot of rain. You're going to have to find things to do with your kids inside. And then following that, we're going to have highs of only up to like -2, all the way down to -9, -11. Chance of snow, so don't put away those snow shovels yet. Winter's not over. Back to you, Don.
Thanks, Cari. If you'd like to participate in reporting news in Chilliwack and you have a story you think we should know about, you can always send us a note to news@chilltv.ca. We'd love to hear from you. That's the news this week. I'm Don Lehn.